welcome back to my channel. My name is Mackenzie, and today I thought I would bring you guys along for a little reading vlog slash book shopping vlog. I'm not sure where this video will take us, but I'm excited because, if you guys don't know, I have recently gotten into reading. I originally kind of hated reading during school. I despised it. But last year I read the Hunger Games series for the first time, which it's one of my favorite movie franchises, but I've never actually read the books. So that was kind of my gateway into reading again as an adult, even though it was a teenage book. And they were literally amazing, especially Sunrise on the Reaping. I'm so excited for the movie. And then from that, I started reading Red Rising. Not my favorite book, I must say. I had really high hopes for it because the way it was advertised to me was like Star Wars X Hunger Games. I could see both elements, not really Star Wars, it was just in space, but it was a good book, personally for me, a little too dragged on, but I probably will continue the franchise. And I then, after that, read my favorite book of all time so far, my first 5-star book, other than Sunrise of the Reaping. Sunrise of the Reaping might be 5 stars, but my first 5-star book, which was Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I highly recommend this book to everyone and anyone. Maybe not if you don't like fantasy, but it's amazing. I love this book so much. I love Vin with my entire heart. In case you guys do not know what Mistborn is, Mistborn follows Vin and Kessler and their thieving crew as they try to overtake the Final Empire. The Final Empire is ruled by the Lord Ruler, who is like unkillable and has lived for thousands of years. So they have quite a challenge on hands, and Vin and Kessler are both Mistborns, which means they can control all 10 of the metals. Hi, Editing Mackenzie here. I'm watching this back and I realized I didn't explain the magic system like at all. So here's a really poor but quick rundown of the magic system. So in Mistborn, the main magic system is allomancers, which means that they have the ability to use, also known as burn, different types of metals to gain different types of superhuman abilities. So you have like mental ones and you have physical ones. So you have Mistborns that can burn all of them, and you have Mistings who can only burn certain ones. And then you have like normal people who can't burn anything. For example, of a physical metal that you can burn would be like tin, which enhances all 5 of your senses. So you have better eyesight, better hearing, you're more sensitive to temperature and things like that. And then you have pewter, which enhances your physical ability. So you can like take a punch to the face and be perfectly fine. Well, if you weren't burning that, you'd probably be out of it, you know. And then you have mental ones like brass, which smooths people's emotions, and then you have zinc, which like riots them, and then there's like many more, and it's really, really cool. Trying not to like spoil it, but like also like make you want to read it. I'm not good at this. I'm not a book vlogger. I'm trying. And then Vin, her role in the story is that she goes undercover to these banquet halls to spy on the great houses. And I love Vin. I know I just said that, but I genuinely love Vin. I think I just love badass women. Like, I love Ahsoka, Katniss, Wanda, Black Widow. Like, I just love a woman who is strong and badass. But also another element I do love about this book is that there's like a smidge of romance, and I did not think I was a romance girly. I was like I'll watch a rom-com, and like I was gonna read the Summer Activity books, but I genuinely was like looking for more romance. And it's like also like a family like trope, not the romance bit. The book itself, like Kessler and Vin have such a father and daughter relationship, and it's so cute. And this was like the first book that ever has made me cry. I didn't think it was possible, but I was literally bawling. I don't know if I have a clip, but I was crying my eyes out. So I highly recommend Mistborn. But today's goal is I want to find Mistborn 2. There is, I believe, 6 books, but I think it's 3 and then a part 2, which is with different people that are also Mistborns. I'm not really sure, but I would like to find Mistborn, The Well of Ascension. So I am currently outside my local secondhand bookstore, which is where I found my original Mistborn book for $5. Like, what a steal. I'm getting the book no matter what. If it's not here, then I'll pay full price. I don't care. I need to read this book. I literally, when I was reading Mistborn, I had to stop myself so I could just like enjoy the book for longer. Like, I didn't want it to end. And now that it's ended, I need Vin in my life again. I miss her. I miss reading about her. So let us go check out this bookstore and pray to the gods that they have Mistborn well of Ascension. Sadly, they did not have any Brandon, which I kind of was expecting just because he's such a popular author. But they were like stacked last time I came there, so I'm kind of surprised I had like literally nothing. So that's kind of sad. But I did buy another book. I ended up getting Mickey 7. I watched this movie and honestly it was very pretty and funny and I very much enjoyed it. So I was like, let me read it because books are always better than how the movie is most of the time. So I got this for $6 when it's normally $25. So I would say it's a steal. It's a pretty good copy. There's like that one little mess up on the cover, but other than that, I think it's a steal personally. It even came with a gift receipt. So I don't think I'm gonna read this yet, but it's gonna go on my TBR. Honestly, I don't know, I don't really get how people can read 2 books at once. I am not that person. But I'm gonna now go and drive to my bookstore that has every single book, my non-secondhand bookstore, and pick up Mistborn 2 because I need it in my life. Honestly, maybe I'll get the box set. I don't know. The Questions and Wonders. I'll have to ponder on it. But yes, I'm very sad they don't have Mistborn, but at least I got a book because I do love that place and I like supporting them. I just did the conversion of this. This $34 American is $47 Canadian, so I don't think I'm gonna get the whole set, which is fine. I just really wanted an extra one so I could annotate it, but it's not. The $47 is a little bit out of the budget range for today, so we're just gonna get a good copy. The question is, do I get both of them now, or do I just get this one? The Wonder. I did end up getting The Wheel of Ascension, which is the second book in the Mistborn series, and I was like, well, I'm here already. Let me get the third book. So we have the completed trilogy. I was thinking about getting the box set, but it wasn't worth it because I already have Mistborn. I also had no idea, but Brandon Sanderson was the author of the month, which means that both of these were 25% off. So I literally saved $8 and I had no clue. And this is the best time thing in the world. So I'm really excited to read these. Like I mentioned before, I got Mickey 7, which I was like, I low-key thought I was going insane because I kept being like, Mickey 7? Isn't it Mickey 17? I had no clue that they changed the title of the book. Sorry, they changed the title of the movie because the director wanted to kill Mickey more. So they killed him 10 more times. I had no clue. So I'm excited to read this, but this is probably, like I said earlier, is going to go on the TBR because I gotta read 700 pages of this and I'm gonna enjoy every second of it. So I think I'm gonna go and make myself a little tea and we're gonna dive right in. Predict now, how many pages will I read? today? I have no clue. I have not talked in a few hours. I just got to part 2 of my book, and the cliffhanger, I'm actually like, did not expect that. But this book, I genuinely have not put it down since I picked it up. I'm on page 102. I want to keep reading, but it's 1 a.m. I didn't know it was 1 a.m. I thought it was 12. No, I should go to bed. I can read tomorrow, but oh my god, it's so good. At the moment, it's just starting up, you know, and it's taking place a year after Mistborn, so we're getting like reintroduced to like the metals and stuff because it probably took an entire year to write this, so that makes sense. But let me tell you, I am eating it up. I am enjoying this so much. I've missed these characters so much. Without like spoiling Mistborn, or in this book, basically right now, Vin is very paranoid, and she is someone who's watching her, and there's assassins going after her, so it's kind of like thrown right back into the action, and I honestly I was eating it up. I'm so excited. Like, I love this book, and I'm so happy to be back in this universe, but at the same exact time, I don't want to read it all the way. Like, I love reading it, I don't want to put it down, but at the same time, I don't want it to end. I don't want it to, like, finish already. But yes, I'm gonna go to bed, because I'm tired. Good morning, it's the next day. I am so excited to continue my book. Also a little scared because of the cliffhanger that was left on. I feel like depending on what happens, there might be tears. So, fun! But it was a very gloomy and rainy day today, so it kinda is matching the vibe perfectly. But we got a good chunk, if it focuses. We got a good chunk yesterday. Hi, it is much later in the day. I'm calling it a night with reading because I have work in the morning and the clock's turned back, but I read a good chunk today, if this blanket would move. I read a good chunk today. I'm on page 243 and chapter 21. The story is honestly, it's quite slow at the moment, but I just love learning about like their lives now that I really don't mind. Like, I am not like at the halfway point, but I would think because it's called the Well of Ascension, they will be going to the Well of Ascension, but that doesn't seem like the case. In the first book, it was mostly like Finn's POV and then Kessler's POV, and this one has a lot more people's POV, which I kind of like. And we got introduced to 2 new characters. One was named Zane. He's a little insane. As he mentions multiple times, he sees somebody and he has a voice in his head saying, "Kill him." So he's interesting to me. And then there is a Tesser woman. You know, I read these words, I've been reading for the past 3 hours, and yet I finally say them out loud, and I'm like, is that how you say it? She's like a keeper of time, and she collects like memories and stuff, and she specializes in kings and like thrones and empires and stuff like that. And they basically like, they have a bunch of jewelry, like bands, like bracelets and stuff, where they keep their resort. This is gonna sound insane if you don't read the book, but they keep like they store up their strength in these bands. So when they want to store up the strength, they become like the weakest version of themselves, and then they can use that band on command to the amount that they've stored up. So like they have like vision and hearing, like the same elements that you get from allomancers, and they just have to dedicate time into getting the stores. Anyways, she's a character, and I at the moment don't really like her. I just read like a little bit more about her in the last chapter. I don't know. I love Vin, and I want Vin to be happy. And if she gets her heart broken, I want to beat up a man. But at the same time, if there's a love triangle, that would be so unexpected from Brandon, and I will also beat up a man, because I don't want no the Samurai Turn Pretty love triangle, if you get what I mean. But I don't think that's going to be happening. But you never know. But I read a good chunk. I'm going to go to bed. I'll probably read this before and after work, and I'm enjoying it quite a lot. I love reading this book. This is the most I feel like I've read in a few days. So yes, time to go to bed, and I shall see you guys tomorrow, which will be in like 1 second for you. It is currently Sunday, and I just got home from work, but before heading home I decided to stop at the Harry Styles pop-up in Toronto, and I got some goodies. One on the last day of the pop-up, so I literally got to just walk inside. I think if I waited in line I would have been quite disappointed, because there was really only just photo ops and merch. I was there for a total of like 5 minutes. But it was fun, it was cute. They were obviously playing the songs from the new album. I got a photo in front of the clock that he had. However, I realized I should have been on the other side, because that you can't, you don't see the disco part. I, of course, bought a vinyl. But first, I got this Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally tote bag. I don't really have a lot of tote bags, and I've been wanting more. This was $10. That's not that bad, considering like the hoodies were $130. So yeah, it's just a cute little tote bag. I think it'll be fun to like carry my books in when I go to the library and stuff. And then of course, inside we have Harry Styles hitting the gritty. We have, I always want to say Disco All the Time, Kiss Occasionally. Kiss All the Time, Disco Occasionally. I am absolutely in love with this album. I live reacted on my Twitch listening to it. I have the VOD posted on my VOD account, but my favorite songs at the moment, this has only been like 3 days since it came out, are Dance No More, and then like genuinely I think it's the Holy Trinity. It's American Girls, Ready Steady Go, and Are You Listening Yet? That is banger after banger. For the vinyl, I originally was going to go for the Tomato, which is just a red vinyl, but last minute I switched to a pink one called Kiss. But this has like no indication if she gave me the right one. Like I have no idea how she knows what color it is. I was like looking before I left, because I was like, I want to make sure I got the right one. But yeah, there's literally no way to find out, so let's live react to it and hope that I got the right one. Did I say this was $50? This was $50, which honestly I thought was quite a steal, considering most vinyls nowadays are like $75. Here it is. Now I do know that the next side is a naked man, so this might have to be censored. I did get spoiled on that. But the inside. Wow, naked man. We have Harry styling. Get what I did there? Oh, it's okay. We have Harry, the songs, him catching a tomato, the lyrics of the song, which would be a pain to read because they're in a circle, him staring into my soul, I could have taken a photo with that, but honestly, for being the last day, it was kind of packed, and they also gave me the wrong location. I had to, like, investigate. Harry Styles Part 2 and his third nipple, and yeah. And now, the moment I've been waiting for it. Please tell me they gave me the right one, not a standard black. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ta-da! I see a little bit of pink. We have a beautiful holographic sleeve. Wow, very staticky as always. But we have it on this beautiful pink. I feel like pink just goes with Harry. Nothing fancy with it, but hey, at least it's not a standard pressing. I'm gonna sleeve this, and just like that, it is sleeved. I actually love that album. I did not expect myself to love it as much as I did. Anywho, back to the whole point of this video. I've been reading The Well of Ascension today. I would say like basically almost halfway through the book. I've read a good chunk today. I think I started at like 2:40. I would say I've read around like this much today during and after work, and I'm gonna read more now. I absolutely love this story. It is, like I said in the last clip, it is quite slow at the moment. It is quite just slow in general, a lot of world building, which is perfectly fine with me because I love these characters so much. I want to spend the most time with them, and I want to know the littlest, smallest details. I'm actually kind of obsessed. But I can understand how this is a little bit weaker than Mistborn. Like, I am this many pages in, and like stuff be happening, but like nothing's like happening, you know? No, like the gears are turning at the moment. The seeds are being planted, but they have not grown yet. I was so sad when I had to go to work and I had to like put the book down. I feel like such a main character. I'm on the subway and I'm reading my book with my Apple Apple wired headphones in. All I need is a matcha and life would be great. I already had a tote bag and a vinyl walking home. Anyways, I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna get into comfy clothes because been wearing these for like 8 hours and I'm so tired and I want to go to bed, but at the same time I want to read this book. I have 200 more pages to go and I'm kind of scared but also really excited to finish this book. Most of the time, from my understanding of Brandon Sanderson's writing, this is when things get to things pick up and everything kind of like goes chaotic in the last 200 pages. And for Mistborn, I remember I was like, I think maybe like 300 pages left and I read it all in one night in one sitting, so I'm expecting to finish this today because it also is Monday, which means I have nothing to do but read. Part 4, the ending of it, is probably my most favorite, just because the emotion, the roller coaster that I went on is kind of insane. The twist and turn also, like this entire book kind of was like an Among Us. Not really an Among Us, like it was like a subplot of finding out who the imposter is, and the reveal of who the imposter is was someone I was not even suspecting to be, and that was shocking. But things are picking up. This entire book, they have been at like a standstill war, and now the war be happening. I probably will reread this series in the future, but nothing is like when you watch or read something for the first time. But yes, I am going to finish my book chat. Yippee! Wait, what? I just finished part 5. I just finished part 5. I just finished part 5. That was good. Can you tell me doing that whole thing? Part 6. What is happening? Wait. What? What? That's the end of the book? There's the epilogue. Wait, what? I have finished The Well of Ascension. Let us talk about The Well of Ascension. I literally just finished the book like 5 seconds ago, so I haven't really had a lot of time to think about it, but overall this book, I personally really enjoyed it. It is definitely weaker than Mistborn. I feel like Mistborn is like genuinely like a perfect book. This kind of goes in depth in the characters and obviously continues the plot, because it is a trilogy. Well, it's 6 books. I've explained this in the beginning. Anywho, this book, for most of it, kinda felt like a filler episode. It kinda felt like nothing was really happening. Well, in the original, like in Mistborn, I felt like it was progressing quite a lot. It's very political, this one. Really following the king and his laws that he's putting in, trying after, you know, after they overthrown the final empire, what is happening with Luthadel. The characters in this book, I feel like you go more in depth. I mentioned before, like, you get everyone's, like, you have more POVs compared to the first book, which is mostly Kessler and Ben's POV. This one you get more people's thought process, which made me understand characters more and enjoy them more. Vin is still my favorite though, because we love a badass woman, like I've said. But this is so relationship heavy, not relationship heavy, but compared to the first book, the relationship that Vin has, like romantic relationship, is so much more important in the beginning, and honestly kind of in the end. In the middle, I was gonna fight some boys, let me tell you. The miscommunication that they've gone through. They don't know how to communicate, but they're learning. It's okay. Also, in this book, and even in the first book, Brandon Sanderson writes like little text above each chapter, which in the first book I didn't read them, but in this one I started to, and then the chapters got so good, like I skipped a few. But the nice thing about it is that he kind of like rephrases them all and like talks about it like in different parts of the book, and he did in the first one too, which is nice. So it's like you get a glimpse of like, you kind of get like a glimpse of text that you have like no clue like what is this about, and then later in the book you're like, oh, that's important. This time I actually paid attention to it. But I'm excited to read The Hero of Ages. I think I don't know if I want to read it straight away. I was thinking about reading Project Hail Mary because the movie just came out. Overall, I think if I gave Mistborn 5 stars, I think for me personally, I'd give this book 4.5, 4.25, 4 stars. Like I said, it was very world building, very character deepening. Just so much went on, especially in that last few chapters. The emotions, the confusion, and the deception. I'm interested to see where this book takes me. They're all kind of the same length. Honestly, Mistborn's the smallest one out of them all. I really enjoyed reading this book. I still think this is one of my favorite series. I'm very excited to see the pacing on The Hero of Ages and where the story will lead, because like I said, there are 3 other books following different people after The Hero of Ages, I believe. So I'm very interested to see what happens, because the pacing in this book is so slow compared to Mistborn. But like I said, I kind of liked it because it was like, I guess I got to learn of the characters more and just fall in love with the world. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to comment a nerd emoji to prove that you are a real one and stayed this long. And I am very open to feedback. This is my first reading vlog. I'm not a book vlogger, so I wanted to finish this book in one video, but at the same time it's kind of like a little repetitive and it's hard for me to talk about the book without spoiling it. But I really do appreciate you all being here. Let me know what book you are reading, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I shall see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!